the discussion we had yesterday was that Sailor is intentionally not donating anything to Bitcoin and to the Bitcoin open source developers. And that actually makes sense to me because obviously no one can tell him what to do with his money, right? That's his money.
Yeah.
Those are his funds.
Yep. But
But from a moral standpoint, it does make sense for him to donate to Bitcoin, right? Because that's only advancing the thing that essentially built him. So I think that it comes down to morals a bit too.
yeah, at the same time, like I don't want this industry to live off of donations. I would like Nostr, especially Nostr, to be something that is self-sustaining, right? Even if it is
Mhm.
donations, it should be directly from the users, not from someone who does not even use the product. So Michael Saylor does not use Bitcoin, if you think about it, because he doesn't have the keys to, like he may have the keys to his Bitcoin, which is a smaller portion compared to the Bitcoin that's held by MicroStrategy, right? So MS, whatever MS holds, it's held with a custodian, I think Coinbase or someone. So they don't have the keys to it.
Maybe
So he,
Fidelity is a custodian.
yeah, I think Fidelity. So there he's not even using Bitcoin. He's just like getting
Claim.
price exposure in
Yes.
one way. So that's what he cares about, or the company will care about only the price exposure. So yeah,
Mhm.
for I don't even care if he does not donate, but he influences the culture. So now in
Yes.
Twitter, like on Twitter, you have a lot of people saying we should not donate to devs. They should be already rich. If they were Bitcoin devs,
Mhm.
they got into Bitcoin early on. They should be doing it for free. So there are people saying that now. So
And
yeah,
now they are talking about the arguments went up to the ossification. Like it's not
yes,
about change or any updates, right? Because even if Bitcoin was about to ossify, we still need developers to maintain this thing or keep finding the bugs or keep finding the risk vector, right?
yeah,
Yes, no,
yep, yep.
like because yeah, that's what I think because it's an open source. Like someone needs to maintain it. It's like there is no god. Like there are some fundamental principle, but still it can have some bug.
Yes, so that's something that's like missed by everyone, right? So no one really talks about what happens when people stop maintaining software. So I think because they only look at Bitcoin from the financial point of view. So they read things like what's that? The Bitcoin standard. They learn about the history of gold,
Yes,
those things, and
they
that's
don't want to
where they
change the
stop.
consensus rules. That's all. But
Yes,
two three
they're like,
things.
okay, this is working, this is fine, that's it. So they don't even care to like understand how Bitcoin works at a fundamentally like from a software standpoint. So yeah, I think that's one issue that people should take care of.
Right. So Bitcoin is not about like if you read one, two, three books, you hold some Bitcoin, you self custody. Now you just need to sit and wait for the price to rip. No, that's not how Bitcoin works. You just need to constantly study and constantly need to learn more, like anything being developed on Bitcoin. And still Bitcoin can fail. Like there are so many political
Yeah.
movements they are trying to attack Bitcoin.
Yes, yes, exactly. So people tend to think that Bitcoin failing will not look like Bitcoin Cash taking over it or gold taking over it, right? That's not the case. So Bitcoin can still become the global reserve currency, but now you cannot send Bitcoin to certain addresses because all the miners are like uh, following a government whitelist or blacklist, or maybe you can't even run your own node. It is because the uh, software is closed source, something like that, right? It's
Mhm.
obviously not going to be closed source, but yeah, or maybe because of some kind of licensing issue, and yeah,
Yes.
so things like that can happen. Like you may still make money out of your Bitcoin. You can at the end, you are one of the richest people in the world. Let's talk about Michael Saylor. So he becomes the richest man in the world, and yeah, he has a lot of Bitcoin or exposure to Bitcoin. But what if? But that's not the end goal. That's not the best that we can do. We can do much better than that. And yeah, so I don't think Bitcoin will fail in ways that people are thinking, but it might still fail in
Yeah,
other
matlab,
ways.
yes, like the chances are not like chances are still positive. Like even if it's tiny, but still,
Hmm.
so they
Yeah.
need like developers need funding, and like you said, if this comes from Nostr or any other thing like value for value, like if our users of Nostr are donating or just zapping sats to OpenSats or other independent Bitcoin developers working on Bitcoin and Nostr, then it's good. Like if we are, I think it will happen. Like it will happen. Like, and it's
Yeah.
still, people are still donating, still zapping to OpenSats, but it's a very tiny amount.
Yeah.
Even
So
if we can, if we are able to incentivize it to donate to open developer, then it's good.
I think like we did not have Nostr, and that necessitated the creation of things like OpenSats and other orgs, right? Brink or whatever. So I think with Nostr now we should be able to track which developer is getting how much money, and like what their goal is, how much they need to sustain, because a dev in India will need much less than a dev in the US, right? So if I'm giving like $1 to an Indian dev, that's 90, almost 90 rupees, like 83, 85 rupees. That's a lot of money. Like they can probably go and buy some groceries for the like for prepping meals that day.
Mm-hmm.
But for an American, $1 is nothing. So it matters how much, like what's the goal, how much they're seeking, and based on that we should be able to track, and also like based on how useful the product is to you. So if I donate to OpenSats and they go give it to someone like Amethyst, right? I don't use
Yes,
Amethyst, for example, and I don't, again, for example, I'm just
yes,
giving an example. Let's say I don't like the dev of Amethyst, and I don't want them to keep developing Amethyst, right?
yes,
Because I think that they're co-opting Nostr or something. But I would much rather my money go to the Damas devs, uh,
yes,
William Castle. So like there is no way for me to control it now. But if there was some like mechanism where I get the feedback that okay, these guys are the ones that should be trusted, that need more donations, and my followers could see that. So like utilizing this web of trust concept of Nostr, I think that will become a better solution to donate to people. And yeah, that will not only be limited to devs, like all philanthropic things, right?
right.
Another example would be like you are a dev and you already got a
Mm-hmm.
100K grant from Spiral. Then I'm not going to give you any more money, right? You don't need it. You already have 100K. You should be able to sustain yourself for a time, like for some time. But there
Right.
are other devs who did not get any grants, so I would much rather donate to them. So this like needs a solution, like funding
So,
problem.
OpenSats, like Odell keep talking about OpenSats, and he claims he doesn't earn anything from OpenSats. But if you, I think, yeah, OpenSats, this centralized solution to for donations are not good. I'm getting your point.
Right.
Like if, like it still have a chance to get corrupted or misallocation
Mhm.
of the fund donation.
Yeah. So
Right.
I think like private donations are fine, but most of the devs, like I don't think OpenSets actually discloses how much money is given to each dev or anything like that. But still, like if
Yes,
you are using a Geyser fund,
they don't
uh,
disclose. Yes,
but if you are using a Geyser fund, then it is completely public. Whatever money you're getting is completely like visible to everyone. So I think there needs to be a solution that's somewhere in between, where let's say you create a goal for 10,000 sats, for example,
okay, yes,
and someone privately donates to 5,000 sats, you should be able to mark it as done, saying, okay, this was done. Uh, and if you don't mark the 5K as like donated or received from someone, that person should be able to disclose it on like on their own, that this person has received 5K from me, but they're
yes.
not disclosing it, or things like that. Like there are so many things we can build on top of this problem, right?
Right.
This
Just a
open speech
Patreon.
protocol.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just a Patreon for like just a Patreon where you pay people in Bitcoin, right? Type of thing. And that makes sense. It's actually a very good solution for quite a few things. Like as you pointed out, it's amazing. It's a very good solution for all things philanthropic, not just limited
Yes.
to Bitcoin.
I I don't know like how
Right.
exactly it's going to look, but there are a lot of options you can explore, especially using Nostr.
Yeah, definitely. So,
But
like, okay,
yeah,
question.
yeah.
How do you build stuff on top of Nostr?
Okay. So I'll go a bit backwards to the like past of how the protocols were built. So
Right.
when you call something a protocol, it means uh, there can be multiple people or multiple computers who talk to
Mm-hmm.
each other using a standard way of structuring data, right? In computer science, that's what
Mm-hmm.
a protocol means pretty much. So
Mm-hmm.
you have the TCP protocol, the internet protocol, and in
Mm-hmm.
TCP, what you have is like you structure your data in a certain way and send it from one computer to another. That structure can be used uh, by other protocols like HTTP to define how
Mm-hmm.
like web related data will be transmitted, or SMTP, which is email, simple mail
Yes.
transport protocol.
Mm-hmm.
So protocols are built on top of other protocols, and Nostr builds on top of two things. One is a standard called JSON, JavaScript object
Mm-hmm.
notation something. Yeah, whatever. So that's one way of like that's a file format, kind of like how you have .txt file, you have .json files.
Right.
And then another thing is called the WebSockets. So WebSockets are something like your Twitter feed is loaded automatically, right? You just keep scrolling and it
Mm-hmm.
keeps loading, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how the WebSockets work. So if you go to google.com, you make a request to Google,
Mm-hmm.
the request goes to the server, it sends you back the data you needed, and it shuts off completely. With
Mm-hmm.
WebSockets, it keeps it open so that you can send the next piece of data, and it can return back the next piece as well. So using WebSockets,
Right.
Nostr is connected to from your phone or from laptop. All the clients are connected to the relays. So
Mm-hmm.
relays can send you data at any moment, and you can ask that data to the relays at any moment dynamically. So you don't have to like uh, you don't need a public address, public IP address to be able to become reachable from
Mm-hmm.
other devices. So how you build on top of Nostr is that this transport mechanism of creating open like WebSocket connections to the servers stay the same. The
Mm-hmm.
JSON structure of how the JSON file should look like. So it should have a content field, it should have a signature field, it should have an ID field, it should have a public field, pub key field. Those that definition is like also remains the same, and then it has
Mm-hmm.
a kind number. So you just choose a different kind number to create your own protocol that uses Nostr. So these are all Nostr events which are in the JSON files, and the
Right.
communication is done the exact same way. But
Mm-hmm.
you have like you define the meaning, you assign meaning to these kind numbers. So if it is one, then it's a short form note, and the content field should be just a plain text,
Right.
uh,
Okay.
which will be your Twitter-like client. So that's a meta protocol built on top of Nostr. So Nostr
Mm-hmm.
just defines the communication thing, and Twitter-like clients are kind of like a meta protocol that only Twitter-like clients will understand, Snort, Primal,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Live streams are another meta protocol. It just defines a different kind
Right.
number, and that even represents the URL to your streaming service, etc. So if you want to develop something extra, it cannot be a service or
Mm-hmm.
like on Nostr. Like there is no sense in developing a service on top of Nostr. It has to
Mm-hmm.
be a meta protocol. So whatever you create on top of Nostr has to be interoperable with other clients. So if you create, let's say
Right.
tomorrow, some audio sharing thing like AirChat that I'm thinking of building
Mm-hmm.
on that. So your entire feed is just audio, like audio clips, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
kind one events, which are your short notes. If that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I develop, for that I'll choose a kind number or multiple kind numbers to represent multiple things within that within that meta protocol that I have developed.
Mm-hmm.
And other clients will be able to use the same things, same specification, to become interoperable with your things. So if you're thinking of developing something that only you can provide or just disappears when you go away, then that's not something that you should be building for on top of Nostr. Only if it is
Mm-hmm.
interoperable, only if it can survive without you, then you
Mm-hmm.
develop
Okay.
it on top of Nostr.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long answer, but I don't know.
Yeah, and
No,
for,
I-
this
for,
is
for
clear enough.
me, like
Yeah.
a non-technical background, like I only was able to grasp 20-30%, and
yeah.
maybe 0%. But yes, I understand the design.
Yeah.
Right.
So
This
So
basically,
makes
mostly development will be like UI stuff
right.
and polishing the client-side logic of your software.
Right.
Yeah,
okay, UI said only.
yeah,
Mm,
mostly.
hmm. So like Twitter can use Nostr,
Twitter can use Nostr, yes.
and if Twitter don't use it, still users will not lose their followers or something, or they
Yeah,
can.
so what Twitter can do is they can generate a Nostr private key on the server. It doesn't need to be on like it's
Okay.
obviously not going to be censorship resistant that way, but it will still be interoperable. So Nostr, if they develop something if they generate your Nostr public private key pair, right, and start creating all the tweets as Nostr events.
Okay.
So all the existing tweets that you have, they all become your Nostr events. So they just like they're signed with your private key that is held by Twitter itself. So
Okay.
what will happen is like Nostr clients will be able to see your tweets, and obviously Twitter's server will also have to expose that WebSocket connection thing, so that existing Nostr clients who only speak like connect to your servers or relays using WebSockets, they will be able to connect to Twitter server and get your events. So then for Nostr clients, it will look like Nostr events. All your tweets will look like Nostr events. All your profile data will look like Nostr events. All your likes will look like Nostr events, and they can do whatever they want. And then Twitter, from Twitter, you will also be able to see in other Nostr profiles if they allow you to do that. So yeah, they can integrate it.
And how can they monetize it? Like how can they run their servers? Like
They already have their infra, right? They already have monetization and everything.
they can
So
show ads
they can keep showing ads within Twitter.
on
Yeah,
Nostr on their like Twitter client and which is using Nostr in the backend.
yeah. But then the issue becomes, like, how do you stop people from like using another client to view the same tweets and same stuff? That's not Twitter's front end.
Yeah,
So
because
yeah,
that will produce the same person watching multiple ads, right?
yeah. So because other clients will not show the ads, only Twitter's
Yeah,
front end client will be showing the ads.
yeah, it
So
makes sense.
yeah, so there will be like they can Twitter can lose their viewers or
Yes.
client customers maybe.
I think the best thing they can do is like generate a lightning address for all the users on the platform, automatic lightning addresses, and become a custodial wallet kind of thing. And every time
Mhm.
you zap someone, if it is like above 100 sats, they take one sat from you or something
Okay,
like that.
like they
Yeah,
can
that
get a
works.
share
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah,
they can utilize it like but
yeah,
right now they're earning from ads.
yeah. Like they already have subscription services, right? They can integrate Lightning very easily. They can become a custodial Lightning wallet, like the wallet of Satoshi.
But Elon won't do this maybe.
No, no, no. So imagine your Twitter address is like Bhavik something or unboxing Bitcoin or SatSang whatever at twitter.com, and that's your Lightning address, right?
Yes.
That's something that they can implement.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to talk about whatever you are building? Anything you can say?
Yeah. So I have started something called Unsigned Labs. I don't know. I
Yes.
have talked about if I have
The
talked
name
about
is
it before.
beautiful. Unsigned.
Let's just hope I don't
Unsigned.
get sued by those unchained guys.
Oh, nah.
Unchained Capital.
Totally. Yes, it is
Right.
like no. It is a different name. No problem.
I want to take their logo, change the color, invert the color, and just change the name to Unsigned.
Right.
Okay, so Unsigned is something uh, where we'll be developing Nostr clients and some Bitcoin software, and then probably some AI tools as well. So but I'm not very sure about AI because I don't have the expertise. But yeah, we'll try to do that. So currently, what we're developing is a Discord clone, an alternative to Discord, primarily because we cannot yet use Nostr reliably to the point that we can have private conversation, we can have public chat, or you can
Right.
have private group conversations, and like file sharing, video calls, audio calls, all these features that Discord provide, which has familiar interface. I want the same thing on Nostr, so that I only need my Nostr and NSEC and everything works. So that's something that we're building. We have, I think, 3, 4, 5 people now who are working
That
on
can be
it.
built like like it is buildable.
Yeah, it's buildable.
Okay.
So we'll not just be using Nostr. Internally, we'll have some other protocols as well for the video sharing, file sharing, etc. But yeah, otherwise it's possible. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how far I can take it. Uh, but yeah, that's the primary thing that we're building. Otherwise, I'm working with Wallet Scrutiny on building a comment section, so comment box kind of thing that anyone can add to their websites. So that will become your like Nostr. Using Nostr, you can make comments on their websites. So that's not
So
something
can I
that's
integrate in my live stream, in our stream, in our
uh,
record?
no. If you have a website of your own, if you develop a website, then you can integrate it. That's a plan.
So people like whoever are watching, they can chat. Is it
Yeah, so
similar
it's
to chat, like live chat section of like Zep.stream, or different?
uh so
No.
it's probably going to be something where if you go to blogs or some websites, they have a comment section enabled via Facebook or Discuss. So if you have a Discuss account, you can just open their blog post and start commenting there, and you don't need to log into that website again, like separate websites individually. So that's the
Right.
thing. If you go to walletscrutiny.com, you'll see it in action. Uh, you can scroll to any of the wallets that are reviewed by Wallet Scrutiny. You can open it. It's already deployed there. Like and not in any other place that I know of. But if you scroll down, you'll see the comment section. You can log in using your browser extension or via your private key directly pasting onto the browser. I mean to the website, which is not recommended. Yeah, things like that. So, and then you can make comments about the wallet, and those comments will be seen on clients like Habla or Yakione. They show your blog posts, right? So it's interoperable.
Okay. So this is Mutiny wallet, right? Oh no, sorry, wallet scrutiny.
Yeah, wallet scrutiny.
Both are different. Can you
Yes.
can you explain in 2-3 minutes what is wallet scrutiny?
Okay. So wallet scrutiny is an organization run by someone named Leo. So Leo has been here for like at least a decade, I guess, since 2014.
Oh.
So he has been a Bitcoiner for a long time, and what he does, he and one more person named Danny and few others who support them as well. What they do is they take wallets that are source available on GitHub. Then they take the source code and try to compile it. So let's say there is, I create a new Bitcoin wallet and I publish the source code on GitHub. They'll take it, they'll try to compile it. And once you compile, you get the binary version of your software. So you have source code, you compile it, you get binary version, which can be in the format of .apk files or .exe file or .appimage or whatever. Right? So once you have that binary version, what you can do is you can hash it to see that the content that was compiled into matches the hash that's like, or like essentially what I'm trying to say is they'll take the APK file and they'll take the APK that was published separately on Google Play
Right,
Store or somewhere,
right.
and they will match them to see that the source code that is published is the same version that's available on your GitHub, I mean on your
Right,
Play Store or something,
Okay.
or
right.
yeah. So because what you can do is you can publish the source code, but you can make changes there, you can add malicious code there, and then you can like compile and release it into the Play Store.
Okay.
So the source code that
Okay.
you are seeing and the app that you are using will be different. So that can happen.
Okay.
So
Yes.
that's what
Has
they
it
make
ever
sure.
happened in the past?
It has happened. So many times, sometimes what companies will do is they will create a new version of the code, like add new features and stuff, and then they will release the software in the binary format, so .apk or .exe file, but they will not update the source code on GitHub. So it becomes like different, and they will immediately flag it on their website that this is like it's up like out of sync now. So if you're using, let's say I'm using Phoenix Wallet now, and the source code and the version that I'm running on my phone is matching. But then suddenly a new version of Phoenix comes on Google Play, and it's not matching. So I'll get a like update from Wallet Scrutiny. They will post it on their social media or
Okay.
they will update it on their website, and then I will know that okay, this is not released publicly. The source code of this version is not released publicly, so I should not upgrade to that version
Okay.
till it. Yeah. So
So
they
is it,
basically,
Right.
yeah,
so it is something like don't trust verify type of thing. Like
yes,
we don't. So, if we install Bitcoin Core, so it is recommended to verify the checksum and signature file. Or
yes,
if we
yes.
install the Electrum wallet or Sparrow wallet, so we can do it on desktop. But if I install application from App Store, so there is no way. Like yes, there are ways to verify. If I install let's say Blue Wallet from App Store in my phone, so we can, like, can I manually do it, or or does it need some technical background?
I don't know if Apple allows you to check the actual file that you use to
Okay.
install the application. I don't think they expose it, but I
What
think
about Google?
Google Play Store should allow you to like get the APK version of the app that you install.
Then I can check manually, like
Yeah,
I
you
can
can take the
verify.
APK file. Yes,
And wallet scrutiny will solve this. for all
Yeah,
or for all like for all applications, or for like Bitcoin Nostr related things.
I don't think they do it for Nostr yet, but all Bitcoin wallets
Wallets,
that
okay,
they
which
have
is
come across.
necessary
Yeah.
because
Yes.
it is money thing. Okay, nice. Like I
Right.
didn't know about that because like I was worried about this thing. Whenever I make any transaction, like whenever I get the receive address from my,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, watch only wallet from my phone, then even then I check. I check it from 2 3 devices whether I am getting the true, like real receive address in my Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
It
Sorry,
can be,
come
it
again.
can.
I
Okay.
tuned out completely.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, if I like, I am using like watch only wallet in my phone. Okay, so if
Mm-hmm.
whenever I get receive Bitcoin on the address, I I verify it through
Mm.
my different hardware devices, because
Okay.
I like my phone is connected to internet, my wallet is showing the address, but it can be malicious, right? So
Yes.
I
Yes.
always verify, and I'm always worried about what about like hacker is feeding some different address, and if I transfer the Bitcoin to that address and that Bitcoin goes to some other address. Like if what about
Yes.
if Blue Wallet, like if I am using Blue Wallet app, what if the Blue Wallet app is hacked in the Apple App Store? Like I keep
Yeah, I think
worrying about this thing.
now that we are managing money with our phones, right? Bitcoin and stuff, and also Nostr. Once we have this digital signature, I mean the private keys on our hands, and we're generating digital signatures. I think we now have to like rethink this entire field of computation based uh, services, right? All the social media, all banks, all of this, all the protocols from starting from HTTP to like TCP/IP, everything. I think we have to rethink them now, and all the operating systems and how they're built from Linux to Android, everything. And we have to like
Uh,
rethink if they're like
why rethink? Like, can you please elaborate?
yeah. So let's say Android, and I want to store the key, not my NSEC somewhere, right? Where will the app store it? If I'm using Amethyst, it probably has its own place to store the NSEC.
Okay,
And if I'm using some other app, they probably have some other place to store it. If I'm
okay,
using Loom on my desktop, it's probably storing it in some home folder somewhere. So there is no unified way of managing private keys and such. And also like we have to like constantly uh, do some hacky stuff, right? You have the hardware wallets and you're verifying the hardware wallets with your phone. There is no assurance that the phone is like going to be actually working uh, as intended. And all the software company, I mean all the mobile phone manufacturers, they install their own version of the software. They're not installing Android directly. They're installing Android with some added their like uh, own custom apps and stuff, and they
okay.
bundle it together and they install it. So all those practices from companies, and people are okay with it. People
Yes.
have been okay with it because they were not managing Bitcoin with their phones. But now that this has become a known thing, especially among Bitcoiners, and they're saying things like you should not ever be running your a software wallet. I mean hardware. Sorry, what's that called?
Hot
Warm
wallet.
wallet.
Hot wallet.
Hot wallet, yeah. So you should not ever be running a hot wallet on your phone.
Yeah.
At best, it should be if it is going to be a hot wallet, then use an old laptop because
Yes.
laptops are like much more secure than phones. So this
Okay.
has become like no one really questioned it till now. No, people are like, yeah, I know they're taking our data and probably my phone is compromised, but who cares? But
Yes.
now people actually start caring that their money is involved, right?
And Bitcoiners are also like caring about data, privacy, like other than money also.
Yeah, yeah,
So if I'm using Primal is storing my NSEC in like locally.
yeah, on your phone somewhere.
Okay, and we have to trust on Apple Store. If I'm using
On
iOS, if I'm
on
using
iOS,
iOS, yes, if
when
I'm
you're
using
using
iOS.
iOS, you're trusting the entire Apple like company, right? That they don't
Okay,
have a backdoor there. So who knows what they have because it's completely closed source.
okay,
So on Android, you're still trusting them, but you're trusting them that they have not modified the source code of the original Android too much. Or if you're using something like Graphene OS, then it's open source, and then you
Graphene is
can kind
good.
of trust it.
Okay,
Yeah.
and for desktop we have Linux. You know?
Yes.
Okay,
Linux or FreeBSD.
like free BSD. I think I will have to move from Apple ecosystem to yes.
But the thing is here, right? Like this is an open ecosystem, like on Linux and Android, but they are not as interoperable as Apple is for some
Yes.
reason. This entire
Yes.
closed ecosystem works so much better compared to like if you're using Windows or Linux with Android. It just doesn't work that well together. So I think we need to think of that as well. Like how do we make these devices work with each other?
Yes.
We
Okay.
might have to like recreate an entire OS from scratch. Someone is discussing that on Nostr already.
And someone will build it as there is also some other OS. No, the Solana sheet, Solana OS, Solana phone.
Okay.
Like
Uh-huh.
they showed this dream, but like they are building closed system only. But yeah,
Yeah.
they talked about this thing. Okay. Next we can discuss about Hedgehog by SuperTestnet.
Yeah.
Oh
Before that, I think we'll just go
yes.
through Nostr. Okay. Let's do one thing. Let's move to the custody stuff because we were
Okay.
already talking about Sailor and custody, Bitcoin
Yes.
custody and
Yes.
stuff.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I think you have seen my tweet, and then I think Guys One also talked about it on Nostr that Bitcoin is very different from gold because gold is easy to self custody in small amounts, but almost impossible to like move around if it is like $1 trillion in worth,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But
Yes. Yes.
with Bitcoin, it's very easy if it is a large amount because you are just paying a like very small percentage of the total amount in fees, but it's very difficult to move around in small amounts because you'll be wasting most of it on fees, right?
Yes.
Right.
Fees are
So
same for every transaction.
yes, but with Bitcoin, like with gold, it's completely opposite.
Yes.
So the larger the amount, the more costly it is, the most like more insecure it is to move it around. So
Yes.
yeah, that made me think that Bitcoin, even if we like completely fail to scale it, right, to the point that only like 10 million people, 1 crore people
Yes.
are using it, like holding their own keys, everyone else is using Bitcoin banks, we might
Yes.
still be okay.
Yeah, this is a worst
Bitcoin
case
might still,
scenario, right? Worst case
yeah,
scenario.
worst case scenario, but we might still be okay. I don't know. And like, forget about eCash like Fedimint and Cashew. What if you're using wallet of Satoshi or Strike and stuff? I think we might be okay. I don't know. I always like hated on these guys who say things like Bitcoin does not need to change. We can have ossification now. I always like, I always like to fight with them on Twitter, but
Yes,
I
like
don't know.
absolute.
Maybe.
But if they say ossification is bad in my view, like we should be open for the change. Like even we don't know what will happen after 5, 10, 20 years. Like we need to change, no? And whatever the best is, like we will see it in the consensus rules. Like everyone will agree. And as long as
Yeah.
Bitcoin's like the main thing I love about Bitcoin is as long as Bitcoin stays decentralized. So as long as it is easy to run a node, whether you are running it or not, it doesn't matter. But if as long as it is easy to run a Bitcoin node on like 200, 300, $500 computer, then till then Bitcoin is safe. Like it will find its way to go like full, like it will get adopted, like it will keep attracting viewers or like users. But
Yeah.
if
Yeah. So I think I agree with John Carvalho here. I think he made a point recently in one of the interviews that anything you change in Bitcoin for the worse will affect everything else as well. I don't know if he said that exactly that way, but yeah. So for example, if you centralize mining into the
yes,
hands of a few regulated companies,
yes,
that's bad for Bitcoin, even if everything else is working fine.
yes, yes, yes,
If you centralize the ownership of Bitcoin in the hands of a few people, that's also bad. If you make the cost of running a node like very costly, that's also bad for Bitcoin. So everything affects everything, like all the in all the ways that Bitcoin is decentralized. Even if you reduce it just in one of the fields, it's still bad for Bitcoin. But yeah, I don't know. Bitcoin probably will be fine even if it is like the average guy is not using Bitcoin like self custodially. I think it will still be fine. I don't know.
yeah, like
The way,
there yes, Sambhav.
yeah, the way Bitcoin is, I think it's actually for the best if most average people don't interact with the main chain directly. they just use some Bitcoin bank to hold Bitcoin. I think that would be the better option because from what I can see, most people are not technologically literate enough to use Bitcoin as a means to store their value whilst also like not losing their keys like 5 times a day. That I think it's definitely going to happen. And it comes down to another point where we have centralized technologies like iOS and iPhones holding their private keys. And we know how easy it is to build backdoors for these types of things. And it is definitely possible to just take their keys away. It is definitely possible and it has happened and it will be happening more now. So I think maybe giving some part up of your freedom for for you for having your wealth not being taken away by anyone, I think that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The the thing is, like, if the majority of Bitcoin is held by some people, right? Obviously, the like 80% of the Bitcoin will be held by 20% of the people, in 20%
Hmm.
individuals. That's obviously going to happen one day. So,
Hmm.
when that's the case, if those 20% is able to secure their own keys and use it
Hmm.
use it self custodially and verify the supply and stuff, then
Hmm.
even if the other 80% who holds 20% of Bitcoin,
Hmm.
even if they don't use it self custodially, I think, I don't know. Obviously, I will not. I will want everyone
Yeah.
to be self custodial. Obviously, I'll build towards that using
Hmm.
things like Allen hands. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you just have to accept things.
Yeah. Makes
So,
sense.
like, uh, uh, what is happening here is that because of this centralization fiat thing, they are these people have been able to extract or able to steal value from everybody because of their money printing. So as they keep doing it, rich gets richer, poor gets poor. Okay, so first of all, if we don't let, like, if we don't build tools to for people so that they can store their wealth, if if enough people are able to store their wealth or save their wealth,
Mm-hmm.
then it will give them power to be like start more business, like you are doing it, I'm doing it, so many other bitcoiners are doing it. So even I think you agree with me, bitcoin is giving you this strength or this hope or whatever. So what I am thinking is, if right now only few million people are taking self custody, right? They will be they will get out of this fiat jail or fiat mindset. They will build tools for others. I'm we are trying to educate, you are trying to build some products, some, like, everyone is doing, some is working for mining policy or whatever thing. So within few years, like let's say 4 3 2 3 4 years, 5 years, they will empower more people, and together they will also build some good products. So like, so after the second wave, like let's imagine this thing in some first wave, second wave, third wave of adoption, fourth wave adoption. So in the second wave adoption, right, so now few percentage of people are able to custody, they have built some product, now they are holding it, and they will be, they will like help easily to hold other people to, like, other even non-techie people to hold their bitcoin. Like even if zk relops or vtx or something, what is this thing, vtx or
Yeah.
whatever the solution is, like like as long as bitcoin stays decentralized, as long as we are able to, like, few percentage of the people are able to store their wealth, bitcoin will keep growing. Like it will grow, it will attract more people, like it will produce freedom fighters and free people, as long as it stays decentralized. Once it gets captured, then your wealth is gone, and then you have to do bad practice to stay wealthy. Like right now whatever the capitalist people or industrial people are doing to stay wealthy. If Bitcoin gets centralized, then we have to get corrupted. Like we can't
Yeah.
earn honestly, we can't get rich honestly, but Bitcoin allows us to be free, get rich honestly, like get rich with our honest work. No one can loot us. So I am really hopeful for that, as long as Bitcoin stays decentralized.
I just what's that? The donation link was there, right? Not the donation. What's that called? Rebalancing
No
link.
need
I
to do,
just
like it will no, like it won't get over. Like
I just added 500 cents. Not not an issue.
okay, thank
Okay.
you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the thing is, like, I want to like develop two kinds of products, not products, but things. One is considering the worst case of Bitcoin, which is that everyone is using just centralized platforms, things like Cashew, not Cashew, like all the custodial products. So in that case, what we can do is like Bitcoin doesn't grow at all. We don't have the option to like allow anyone to self custody at all. Like we cannot grow. We That's done for. So then what we need is for things like Cashew to be there, which provide privacy at least, which is like better version of the current custodians that are there. So we need those things, and so I'll obviously be developing using Cashew and Fedimint. Plus, we need other things which can potentially allow everyone else to self custody as well if they want to. So things like uh, zero knowledge proof based things like rollups. How successful rollups will be and how you can even deploy a rollup on Bitcoin is still a question. Like I don't see any way of deploying a rollup as we understand rollups today, and as we understand Bitcoin today. But BitVM and stuff, they can probably allow you to do some like creative stuff on Bitcoin. I don't know. It's yet to be seen. I have not seen even a single like.
I'm little bit skeptic about Bitcoin, like
Yeah, I don't know
because
how like useful it will be. Obviously, it's a cool trick, but again, at the end of the like, how practical it will be is the question. I don't know.
Right.
Uh, then Allen hands again. I'm bit like skeptical of sharing UTXOs now, but I used to be a really big proponent of it. But I'll still try to develop things on top of it, as if we have OpCTV today. So let's just build libraries. Let's build the user interfaces, and then we simulate all the scenarios. Like, what if this guy is a person who is a newbie, and yeah, let's see how like he comes to Bitcoin, how much like how can he afford Bitcoin, like how can he afford to self custody Bitcoin, what happens if he does not like to be part of that coordinator. So things like that, shared custody of UTXO using ARC or using timeout trees. So those are some things that I'll be developing as well. So I think that's the only option we have, like prepare for the best and build for the like prepare for the worst and build for the best case
this is the
scenario.
best, right? CTV, like what do you see the future about CTV? Like it is reviewed so many times, right? Like it is
Yeah, I used to ask people to just like I wanted it to get merged very quickly, but now that I've realized what it can actually allow, I don't have any hurry. Like I don't want people to just go on and like harass mostly
yeah.
Bitcoin core developers to merge it now. That's not going to work out that well. And many of the CTV proponents, they are not liked by Bitcoiners, and that's
Yes.
also going to play a role in whether it gets merged or not, whether people like it or not. It's not going to get merged purely based on technical merits. People are definitely going
Yes,
to
because we don't
scrutinize all the
know,
devs.
because we don't know what can happen with this CTV, right? Like,
Yeah, people
uh,
don't understand. People are never going to understand. So they have to trust people. There is no other option. You can't just go and say, well, this is like just review the code. No, no one is going to review the code. People are going to trust each other. So
and
yeah, I don't.
can we use AI like in future? Like everyone is using AI to verify the code. Like not everyone, but like let's say few more percentage, like 10 times more than whatever reviewing
I,
right now.
I think we should develop an AI purely for Bitcoin for it to be able to just review the code
Like
changes.
Swetsky just released AI like he just recently, maybe yesterday or today.
Hmm.
Swetsky.
Yeah, maybe we need some AI tool for reviewing Bitcoin
Yeah,
changes.
like I understand little bit of technical, I've read white paper like 5 to 7 times. I keep reading the abstract thing, like I continuously I read it every week. The abstract thing for the last 6 months, like it reminds me of the main thing I like about Satoshi is he wanted to remove the trust. So he emphasized in the third line about trust. So like I understand little bit thing about technical. So maybe I can use AI to verify some codes. But
Yeah.
if AI doesn't help me, then I will never going to learn how to review code. But yeah, that can be like that can be done.
The thing is, like, that's why I think things like Bitcoin mints is so important for Bitcoin now. And even without like making consensus changes, you can have things like Hedgehog that we wanted to talk about, right?
Huh.
Yeah, like there are things that you can improve. So Bitcoin mints is something which like lets you rate your
Yes.
rate cashew and Fedimint mints. Basically rate them and recommend them to your followers. So based on that, let's say you are, I think Mutiny has already integrated
So
it.
these are
So
banks, right? Like banks,
yeah,
but we should not call them banks because, or we should say the traditional banks as a mints. They were mints.
yes, yes. They
No,
but they
that
were
is,
not really mints
but
because
they become banks.
yeah. So the difference between a mint and bank is something like while you are giving them Satoshi by
Yes,
on-chain deposit or through Lightning,
yes,
they're minting some tokens and giving it back to you. That's back like one-on-one related to the
yes,
Satoshis underneath, right?
yes,
But with banks, that your rupees don't even exist.
yes.
Whatever they are giving is the rupee.
Yeah,
So
like it's not one on one. Like they keep 5% reserve and they lent out 95% in
yeah,
India.
yeah. So for mints, it is supposed to be one-on-one at least.
Yes.
Like obviously the mint can lie and change things, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. But we can have a run on mints. Like, what if
Mm.
I keep changing, like keep transferring my sets to one mint to other mint to other mint?
Yeah, that's something that can be done. Plus, we can utilize cryptography to like prove certain things that we can prove that the amount of token that is issued. I don't know how we'll do that exactly, but there are some
Zero knowledge is
ways.
possible on Bitcoin mints, like on
Zero
Fedi.
knowledge proofs, I don't know how far zero knowledge proofs can go, but even using traditional cryptography, you can show that you hold some funds at least. You hold most of the funds. There are some schemes already proposed. I saw on Nostrum as well. I don't know. I have not checked the code. I don't know much about cryptography, but yeah. Uh, so that's possible. This web of trust based thing where you like I think on Mutiny or some other wallet where if you log in using your not login, but if you use your NSEC or your NPub, it fetches all your follows, people that you follow on Nostr,
Mutiny
and
does
it
that.
checks. Mutin does that, yeah. So it checks the people's recommended mints. So if I'm following you and you have recommended a mint, then I'll start using that. So there are no default mints. There is no like risk of centralization, and that's something that works great. So
But
yeah,
that can be gamed, right? Like, that can be this recommending thing, yeah, reviewing thing. Like, what if like we five people recommend or review some mint?
yeah, that can be
But,
gamed. But then
but
if I get like if I lose my money, right, I'm
hmm.
obviously going to unfollow you, right? And your reputation is going to suffer.
Okay, and
So
let's keep like a few percentage, few money in different mints. If we have
yeah,
1,000 mints, so let's keep in our money in different mints and like and everyone is like I think if you are storing your wealth or if you are if one buys real estate, okay, 1 crore real estate, they are ready to pay 1 lakh fees on the stamp duty and everything. 1 lakh fees. So if someone is storing their Bitcoin for like let's say 10 years, 5 years,
mhm.
so they will be able to use Bitcoin on chain, base chain, but not frequently.
Yeah.
So I think so many people will be able to use main chain, but if we talk about frequency, then it will be small percent of the people.
Also remember that the block space is not limited at all. So I
Okay,
mean it's 1 MB per one up to 4 MB per 10 minutes, but time
okay.
is infinite. So your like block space is going to
Yes,
be
yes,
infinite
yes,
as well,
yes, yes,
right?
yes.
So maybe you like people will transact less frequently, but yeah,
Yes, and they can wait for the fees to get low. Like they can wait 1 2 months. If I let's say if I buy Bitcoin and I'm holding it for let's say 10 years, so after 10 years Bitcoin is 1 million or whatever. So at that time I may not care about fees, or even if I care about fees. So like there are so many nuances. Like I think so many
Yeah,
people will be able to use on chain, like maybe 5% or maybe 10% of the world, but not frequently.
yeah. So even like constructions like timeout trees, right?
Huh?
Even like just consider what Lightning did. So you
Yes.
and I, we both deposit some funds into a multisig. It's two of two multisig. So it requires signature from both you and me. And once we do that, let's say I'm depositing it. Initially, what I'll do is I'll take all my I'll create a transaction that sends all the money to me. So because I'm
Yes.
funding it, so it's like
Yes.
I have the entire balance.
Yes.
Then you and me, will both coordinate and create a
Yes.
new transaction that sends
New
the like
ledger.
whatever money. So I'm sending money to you. So that's a new
Yes.
transaction,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that
Yes.
way we keep like creating transactions, right?
You
So
connect with other people and create
yeah,
a web of
become
these
a
lightning
network. Yeah,
channels. Hmm.
yeah. These lightning channels allowed us to create Bitcoin transactions, like actual Bitcoin transactions that I'm sending to you and you're sending to me. But those
Yes.
are not broadcasted on the chain. The
Yes.
latest one will be when we're closing the channel is the one
Yes.
that will be broadcasted. So
Yes.
it's like Bitcoin using option. That's why it's called option, right? And we are
Yes.
using actual Bitcoin transactions. So with things like Allen Hens, what you can do is at least you can the channel creation part can be grouped together. While closing the channel, you'll have
Okay.
to still pay on-chain fee.
Okay.
The most basic construction will be something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So 100 people, if we are opening channels with Phoenix, those 100 people will just create one on-chain transaction, and all of us will be like sharing the fee. So that's something that's possible
So
with
it's like
things like
something like
Allen.
batching.
Yeah, it's kind of like batching, but in the sense that it's creating only one UTX. So I don't know how batching works exactly, but
Oh,
yeah,
batching is like different input, different outputs. Like so
hmm.
many inputs, so many outputs.
Yeah.
That
But
is
here
batching.
I think it will be just one output. But then that output, if you're like willing to close the channel, and if you're
It's
willing
it is
to
a on, it
like
will be
you
on
will,
base chain.
it will be on basin. Yeah.
Okay.
But like no matter how many inputs, I think it will just be one output if you're like on the most basic channel factory kind of stuff.
One output, but
UTS.
so
So
many channel will be opened.
yes.
Then how
So
will you close the channel? Like
while
what are the
closing it,
proofs?
that output will be spent, and then the output of that can be spent.
Okay.
So So the channel closing part is still going to cost you some money if you're not cooperating with them. So
Okay.
unilaterally, if you're exiting the channel, right?
Okay.
So like you don't want to participate there anymore, you want to exit it, you're going to
Yes.
have to like make one on-chain transaction. But while onboarding, you don't have to do that. You can just batch everything. So that's the
Okay.
most basic thing. We can
Okay.
make more complicated stuff where even the exit part can be batched. I don't know how exactly it works. I have not looked
Yes.
into it.
But this
But yeah,
complex thing will be done on different layers, right? Not on base chain.
yes, yes,
The
different
base
layers.
chain is only the like commit. Should
Yeah.
we say commit or transition? Like yeah,
The
transition commit.
actual broadcasted transactions,
Actual
but this requires
transition.
a few new opcodes and stuff like opctv for example and few others. So yeah, like these are soft fork based solutions, and I think there is another called marketalize all the things. That's another soft fork that people are building. Then you have opcat, and then some people wanted op zero knowledge proof to like natively support verifying zero knowledge proof. So things like that, I think it's great that we have all the soft fork options, and we also have the non-soft fork based options like Hedgehog, which allows you to like it's like Lightning, but allows you to send payment without the other person being online.
Okay.
So with Lightning, you have to be online to receive the
Yes.
funds,
Yes.
right?
Right.
I need to run a lightning node constantly. Like if I
Yeah. Even
okay.
if it is on your phone, like
Yes.
Phoenix, it still needs to be online,
Okay.
or at least
Phoenix server.
Phoenix's server.
Phoenix server needs to
Yeah.
be online, and that's
No,
centralized.
your phone needs to be online.
Okay,
Because
my
your
phone.
phone holds the private key, and it's need to sign the updated like
Right.
state.
Okay, okay. So for Phoenix, if you
So
send me money on Phoenix, my phone needs to be connected to the internet.
yeah,
Otherwise, your money will not be deducted.
yeah, like
Okay.
you have not received money at all. It's not
And
possible to complete that transaction.
okay, and then you will not even lose money, like right?
Yes,
It will
it's not
not
possible to
be
do
debited
transactions
from you.
unless
Okay.
you are online. Yeah. So with
Okay.
Hedgehog, you can be offline. They can keep sending money, and once you are online, you can get to know that okay, this person actually paid me some amount.
How are they doing it?
So I don't want to get into the technical details because I will be like I have not gone through
Yes.
the actual code, so I'll be
Yes. Yes.
wrong. But
Yes. Okay.
they use a construction from something that's called Arc. There's a guy named Burak who created
Burak.
he created Arc. Arc is something that allows you to. It's kind of like UTXO sharing stuff, kind of like what I explained with LNNs. That it's supposed to. It's being developed on Liquid and which like in the future can be bought to into Bitcoin
Bitcoin.
based chain as
Okay.
well. Yeah. And so we have things like Hedgehog, which is an improvement on like async payments. We have other stuff as well like BitcoinMints with a reputation added to them. What else? So these things, I think we need to be working on both. Like not only consensus level changes that can enable in the like future a lot more people to hold their keys, but even if like we can also see the scenario that we might not have another soft fork ever, right? It might be possible that we never get any consensus level changes in the future because like we never can agree on something. In that case, ossification at the protocol level has already happened. Who knows?
Yes,
So
as a
yeah.
protocol level, it is already happened. Like no
Hmm.
one will change the fixed supply, like 21 million supply, block size, and difficulty adjustment thing.
Yeah, but and then maybe we don't even change the Bitcoin script. Like we don't add any future opcodes. We
Okay.
don't add any functionality at all. Like that is a possibility. So in that case, we need to have a completely developed what's that called? Completely developed uh, ecosystem of Bitcoin mains and like cashew stuff and Hedgehog and all those things.
We
So
trustless, like trust minimized manner. In a
yeah,
trust minimized
like
manner.
as whatever the best we can do without changing Bitcoin is
Yes.
something that we should strive for. Yeah.
Right. Makes sense.
Okay.
We got a couple of people. Freedom.
Even that.
What are they
Let's add.
saying? We are 6 viewers.
Yes, six
Freedom.
views. What the fuck
Yegro
are they
zapped
doing
us
here?
21 sets. Thanks, man. Yegro. YEGHRO.
Thank you.
Thanks for zapping, man. Thanks for zapping.
I'm gonna spend it on cocaine. 21 cents. Sami, I
It
don't know
is.
how to pronounce your name, Sami.
I think
Yeah,
his name
but
is. Uh,
I've seen him
okay.
on Nostr since for like I don't know how
Okay.
many years now.
Okay.
Right.
He's a old user.
Yeah, he's been on the Nostr Telegram channel as well.
Yes, and he's zapper. He's a big zapper. Okay. Thanks, man. So.
One thing about the
Yes.
Bitcoin consensus which really interests me is that the people that have agreed on how the protocol should work are actually not in my generation. And it will be very interesting when people from my generation come into powerful positions and they then contemplate whether we should change something that has already been decided by the ones who were our elders.
Nice.
That will be a very
That's
Sambhav is just
interesting
completed
thing.
his plus two. Like he's not even 18, right, Sambhav? You completed
I
18.
turned 18 this January. Yeah.
Nice.
oh,
So he just turned 18.
I
It will be very
I
interesting.
when I see people who are like 17 and 18 and working because I don't feel that feeling that I have like reached my mid 20s, right? I don't know for some reason once I turned 18 I was like okay, I'm 18 now, I'm an adult now, and my brain got stuck there. So I still feel like I'm 18 and then I look back and see okay, these guys are like 5 years, 7 years, 6 years younger than me. And I'm like what the fuck? Like this,
Like think
how did
about
it
me.
happen?
I will turn 31 like in October.
How?
Nice. So but yeah,
My
Sambhav
brain
has
got
been my
stuck there.
student for like 4 years, more than 4 years.
Okay, nice.
I I
What do you do? Like, are you a developer or
game
right now?
developer, game
Yeah, Sambhav,
developer, and I'm
you can
also
tell about yourself like with 2 minutes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Your
So
past
like
like 5 6 year history.
So basically, I started programming when I was 11, and computers were very interesting to me. And yeah, I just started making games when I was like 13, 14, and I just stuck to game development since then. And I'm like currently freelancing and working for another studio for games, building games basically.
We will be developing games on Nostr. Wait,
Hmm.
I will
That's
highly
what
applaud
I.
you.
That's what I told them. Like, we should build games on Nostr. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
yeah.
play
Yeah,
together or Lost Nostr and Lightning. I told you about like a snack game on
yeah,
with chain duel
yeah,
type thing, or even PUBG.
yeah.
100 players each stack few sets, and whoever gets chicken dinner wins all the sets. That can be like PUBG should
Like,
like it. No, it should be
yeah, you
implemented.
don't even need to like modify PUBG for anything. Just make another app, make a game tracker. I mean, use some game tracker API, and just start the betting from there. It's not even complicated.
Like we can do it for PUBG right now or no?
Yeah, yeah, we
Like
can.
even if you are not PUBG, we won't get any copyright notice or something
I
from
mean,
PUBG.
that we will obviously get because we are obviously like we are starting gambling on the game, right? But
But
obviously we'll get
but
that, but
if it,
it's
even
possible.
if it is done on Lightning nodes on over Tor, if they are not able to track us, then how will they stop? Like Vasanta, can they stop? Like no.
I think the gambling part will have to be done on Nostr, right?
Yes, so Nostra and Lightning.
Yeah,
Yeah, it will.
How
and then
can
we
they?
can use
And
an oracle kind of stuff who can like decide if you get the money or not.
right.
Some third party to like uh, for dispute resolution.
Yeah, like I'm really like bullish about gaming or like after Nostra plus Bitcoin, like next thing will be gaming or don't know, but social media is the next thing after Bitcoin. Nostra and not Nostra started with social media. Now will we so like Wikipedia, highlighter, co like people will write books on Nostra like co.
Mm.
So many things can be built on Nostra, but yeah, Sambhav is doing great, like, and he's really
Yes.
hardworking.
I need someone who is hardworking because I'm probably one of the laziest people that I have ever seen. You know,
Me too,
I'm
bhai.
doing is like
Right.
I'm doing a lot of things, but oh god, no, it's like I don't have the energy to do anything. Like on my Discord right now, on the left side of my screen,
Yes.
like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there are like 10 people who have texted me, and I have not replied back to them. So
Right.
Soon, yeah, soon you will be able to
So,
like expand your team, and yeah,
yeah.
that's it. That's it.
that's why developer needs funding, and that's what I have decided. Whoever building on Bitcoin, like we should talk with them and let people know, कि like, yes, people are building and they can get support or even
Mm,
the limelight or whatever. Okay.
right.
Can we talk about
Yes.
like what should we talk about? BIP 33552 or like HTLC, gold, on-chain coin swimming?
Coinswap.
What is close to our discussion? Like Payjoin,
Okay.
Joinstar,
Okay.
CoinJoin.
We have a few things. Okay. How long do you have like time wise?
Like we can
It's
10, 15, 20 minutes maybe.
okay. So I'll just shill one group called Bitshala. If
Yes,
anyone is watching from outside, so that's an
yes,
Indian company. Not really a company, but a educational initiative,
yes.
and they're developing a few things like CoinSwap, silent payments, and I don't think they're developing Payjoin, but yeah, those two things. And
Mm.
I'm friends with most of the guys from Bitshala. Fantastic team, and yeah, we keep meeting on like even organizing a Bitcoin conference on I think in September
Yes,
at
September
Goa.
2021,
Yeah,
22.
it's that's going to be really nice. And
I think we announced yesterday on the SatSang stream. I
Yeah.
think.
okay, so that's really great because those guys are not only doing like educational stuff, providing free education related
Yes.
to Bitcoin protocol development, command line tools, or like just covering mastering Bitcoin. So those stuff plus they're developing CoinSwap. CoinSwap is something where it's kind of like Lightning. What Lightning does is you pay someone right on their on-chain address, and it locks up that thing, and then you can keep making payments off-chain, and at the end you just release that fund back, so no one knows how much money went to the other person, how much money came back to you, because you can make a lot of transactions. It's the same concept with Coinswap. So you can have multiple people or just two people, where you lock up some funds and then you just swap it. So it's difficult to track which, like, because of the UTXO chain linkage from your previous transactions, it gets broken there. It gets difficult to track which payment went to which side, and you can have multiple people joining together to do coin swaps. And yeah, it's kind of like how Mercury wallet does, or Mercury layer does, but it's
Okay.
on chain. So it's not a scalability thing. It's just for privacy stuff.
It's for
So it's an
privacy, okay,
alternative
not for
to,
scaling.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's an alternative to the traditional coin joins that you have.
How it is different with than CoinJoin? Different from CoinJoin?
CoinJoin, I think you need a central coordinator
Okay. Yes.
with mostly. I don't know about Joinster.
Yes.
I don't know how Joinster works. But yeah.
Joinster will, like, users of Joinster will need to connect to some same relay, and they need to broadcast the transaction. There are some rules. So I think Joinster doesn't need any centralized thing.
Yeah, I don't really know how it works. I need to. We can have that guy actually. We can have Floppy here to talk about stuff.
Floppy is developing Joinster, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's
I
also an
will
Indian
try
guy,
to.
and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay, Joinster is developed by fully by Floppy. Like, he is his
yes,
own
yes.
idea. Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's his own idea, and yeah.
Okay, we will bring him. Okay, nice.
So
Because
it is
I
a,
like, whenever I read when I read Joinster, I like the idea.
yeah, yeah. So Joinster is being developed by him, and yeah, I don't really understand it yet. We have one more guy. Who is that? Marco Knight.
Hmm.
Who is that? Who is it? I don't see people's profiles that I used to see on Primal. I don't know why.
New people are coming.
No, like the people that I already followed, probably because of my time zone thing and I'm sleeping too much. But I just, after a long
You
time,
can
I'll
do
see
one
someone's.
thing. Like, whenever you like some, you can add them to your user feed. If you know, like, three dots on Primal, go to any profile, three dots, add to user feed. So they will keep, Primal will keep
Oh,
you showing. Did you find it?
okay. I,
Like, I had to
I
do,
didn't.
like, I have, for Nostr we have to keep doing this
Mm,
filtering thing, unfollow, mute, because
mm,
we don't know what is the algorithm of Primal.
okay. We have. I don't know who this is. Okay, I'll just give it a follow anyway.
Currently, the
Okay.
12 viewers are watching us. Thank you for
Can we do
watching
a
us.
TikTok dance? Let's do a TikTok dance. We'll get some more viewers.
Okay, this is TikTok dance. What is TikTok dance? This
Just
bullshit.
random TikTok dance.
This random TikTok dance. Nice.
Okay.
Right.
Talking about CoinSwap and stuff, I don't know what you were asking. So let's just move on. I forgot your question already.
So yeah, I read HTLCs, no, on-chain coin swapping using HTLCs. So
Just
I'm not
yeah.
technical guy, but there was a, like, there was some problem with Lightning 6 months ago. It was about HTLC. I read HTLC. You don't know about the.
No. So
Okay.
HTLC is the mechanism that allows you to lock your funds and like do the, and the Lightning basically works on HTLCs, and there are some
The
alternatives
layer,
called like,
the transaction on Lightning, the layer two
yeah,
things.
yes. So PTLCs are also like one alternative to that, and so they
Okay.
just took the same concept, removed the off-chain channels and liquidity management stuff, and turned it into a coin shop. So this concept has existed for a long time, and one developer, I forgot his name, and he started working on it as well, but then he had to stop because of his health in,
Okay.
I think, 2020. So Raj picked it up again, Raj from Bitshala, and now they have some interns. I think Bitalu, who also works with me on Unsigned, like not on Unsigned, but on the wallet scrutiny stuff. So Bitalu is also working on it, CoinSwap, and few
Shout
other
out to
guys.
these all developers. Shout out to
Yes,
Raj. Shout out to
Indian devs, man.
Bitalu. Shout out to you. Really, like, you guys are really doing great job. Like,
There's so many Indian devs, right, that most people don't even know about. And yeah, most people don't even know that they're Indians. But yeah.
yes, and I think it has been history, like in Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Apple, so many Indian developers like are on the big positions, right? But till now they will be migrating to US, and there was brain drains.
Yeah.
But I think Bitcoin may stop the brain drain. So
And Bitcoin, like especially, I don't think we had many open source
yes,
devs who were Indian. Like mostly in like closed this Fang and stuff, you had all the Indian devs.
Yeah.
yes,
Barely anyone who worked on open source. So Indian people really did not have much contributions to the entire FOSS ecosystem that we had before that, like from Linux and stuff. I mean, we had obviously devs, Indian devs who did those things, but no one that is significant. Like no one that you could point to and say, okay, this guy is
yes.
an Indian and who has
Even if we
been like
had
contributing.
open source movement for last 20-30 years, you know, since
Yeah,
Linux
yeah,
came or before that, maybe I don't know.
yeah.
Okay, so where are the major open source developers come from? Like they Germany or maybe Germany, Switzerland, or
Probably.
no?
I don't know really.
Because
Uh,
Germany has the highest number of nodes running.
yeah, could be.
Node
There
Bitcoin
is
nodes
a
like
lot of German stuff.
uh, and Germany, Switzerland, like GG is from Germany, and
Even Leo from Modest Scrutiny, he's German.
so many good
Hmm.
developers are from Germany.
Yeah.
So maybe
So like
Satoshi, we don't know. Yeah.
the problem was like if you went to Indian YouTube, right, Indian tech YouTube, and search for open source, you always got like really bad advice. You, I think maybe Indian devs did not like there are no overlap of the Indian tech community and Indian devs who did contributed to open source. They rarely ever showed up. So yeah, I don't know about other countries and how it was, but in India it was like you did not even realize that Indian people were into open source. I would go to like tech conferences or like other places. And also one more thing is like these open source devs, right? They
They
don't
don't get
really like
much.
Bitcoin.
Okay.
That's one of the things. They're like liberals, and I don't know what's going on with them. They hate Bitcoin for just the sake of it. So that's one of the
Open source
issues.
developer in India hate Bitcoin. Like you have
If
met
you
few
that
people.
yes,
Okay, they have
I
been
met
open
few
source
people.
developer, but okay.
Yeah,
So that might be some money. Like yes, I this reminds me of the ego test. Like Bitcoin is an ego test.
yeah,
Really, like like they people if one aspire for the freedom, then he will be open for the idea of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is controlled by, it is not controlled, like it's a open, it's a consensus thing. So whatever, like from my own orange peeling experience, I have found people, if they are more towards, like if they want to controlling, like control mindset, like they don't allow freedom,
Hmm.
they don't understand Bitcoin much. But it was easy for people, like it is easy for me to orange pill people who are more profit freedom, like.
yeah.
So it's an ego thing, and again this reminds me of spirituality. Like if you are um, like it, if you have a less ego, it will free your mind. Like you will have so much capacity to thinking outside the box. You can think big, and if you and I, even if you can think big, then you can do big thing. But
Yeah,
control
so
doesn't
many.
allow you.
Yeah, I think that's why so many like Western Bitcoiners are Christians, right? They are religious people. So
Oh,
yeah, like you
nice.
like Christianity and Bitcoin are like really one very strong theme in Bitcoin Twitter at least. So
But yeah, our Hinduism is not
yeah,
पीछे नहीं है, मतलब, yeah, because
कोई
like,
फॉलो नहीं करता ना कौन फॉलो करता है हिंदुइज्म नो वन रियली फॉलोज हिंदुइज्म लाइक
yeah,
वी
well, like
हैव हाउ
it's
मेनी
to divert हो गया पूरा, like it totally got diverted because of, like, it got hard forked, and
या
Bitcoin, like pure Hinduism core, so few people are running, and even we don't know, like.
या 1.5 billion people I
Yes.
like I don't know if even 10 million people have read the Bhagavad Gita to be honest or the Vedas.
Yes, not even a, yes, not even a single Bhagavad Gita also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like maybe max 1 million people who have read it
And even if
in
someone reads, and it is very hard to practice it in real life, hard to
yeah.
follow it in real life. You have to speak the truth every time, and there are so many, like so many
Yeah, and
restrictions or so many things to do in your everyday
And the
life.
way Hinduism works is that it does not prescribe or like ask you to do things in a certain way. It asks you to question things.
Yes.
And when you are reading the like Hindu shastras and stuff, the Hindu scriptures, you'll have conflicting info. Even within the Vedas, in the Upanishads, you'll have one person who has
Yes.
made a comment, and other person who
Yes.
is like refuting it.
Yes.
And like
Yes.
it's
Yes.
up to
Yes.
you to decide which one you want to follow and which one you want to
Yes.
believe.
Like there is not a real white paper is lost.
Yeah.
White paper is lost.
Right.
Yeah. And so that we have to like you have to read from 5-10 different sources and then come up your own idea. Okay. Any other thing you want to talk about? Like we can wind up with the last
Uh,
thing. Okay, but I didn't
I
know
don't
Coinswap
know.
is being developed by Bitshala, guys. Nice.
Same with silent payments. That's also being developed by
Yes,
Bitshala guys.
it's a
Right.
BIP 352. So,
I
yes,
yes,
you have written it. So, how many total BIP are there, like right now?
I I
More
have
on
no
the
idea. I have not
Discord.
checked the repo.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's a Bips repo actually.
So, silent payments,
Think
you can talk about it. Like you can say what is it? What is the silent payments?
Okay, so basically, if you have posted one Bitcoin address on your Nostr profile, like added it to Nostr profile or Twitter profile, wherever, people send donations to that. What's going to happen is you're going to be reusing their address. All the other people who are sending money to that address are going to be sending to the same address, so it's going to get connected. So that's not a good idea. Address reuse is always discouraged.
Yes.
So to remove that uh, or to mitigate that, what people used to do is run something like BTC Pay server,
Yes.
and it will generate a new address every time you want to send it. But that still is not the best solution because now you have to leave Twitter, go somewhere else, and
UTXO
get the
thing.
I mean no,
Okay.
in
So,
that sense, but. Like go from Twitter to BTC Pay server's homepage, like generate an invoice, type in an amount, send it from there. So
okay.
it should be possible to just post one address, and when people send it to you, those UTXs are not connected. So that's what
Okay.
silent payment is.
Okay.
It uses some mechanism where you have single address, but you're
Okay.
not sending money to that address. You take
Okay.
that address,
right.
do some stuff with it, send it to the new address that you found,
Okay.
and yeah, you still have your money.
Okay. So, what if we add the exchange KYC thing to this thing? Like, what if I withdraw?
No, how it's working is
Like,
so I
will
have my
government know? Like, if I show that address to the exchange and I withdraw to the account, will that address get any Bitcoin? Or like,
okay.
yeah,
So this is how it's
it is
working
beautiful.
is
Like, it is looking exciting.
uh, yeah, like if you have the silent payment address, right? You
Yes.
cannot figure out how many payments you got to that address. No
Okay.
third party can figure it out. Only you will be able to figure it out if it is your
Okay.
address.
And it is on. It will be on base chain if it gets
Yes.
accepted.
Yes.
Okay. Currently we cannot use it, right? Not mainnet.
We can use it. We can use it. So it's
Okay.
nothing like it's not a change to Bitcoin. It
Okay.
just needs software who understands it. So it's
Okay.
purely using Bitcoin in the way that it already works.
Okay.
Uh, so
What
you
app
just need
can I
a
use?
wallet.
Can you wallet or no? Not any
I
wallet
don't think there
I'm
is
using it.
any wallets yet, but I think there are some CLI tools that are being
Okay.
developed.
Okay, so we can use it from directly from CLI tools. So
Yes. What?
okay, so still we need CoinJoin if it gives
Uh,
privacy, silent payments.
yeah, I don't know. I have not done conjoins yet. I think I did
Yes.
once. I don't remember, but I don't remember whether it was actual coins or testnet coins. But I have not. I'm not a frequent user of CoinJoins mostly because I receive my payments in Lightning. I
Okay.
swap it on chain,
Yeah.
so I don't even need CoinJoins. I don't even need like silent payments. I don't need Coinswap also. Like I don't need any of the privacy tools that are being developed right now for Bitcoin. But
Because of
some people
lightning,
might.
right? Because of you are getting it
Yeah.
on lightning. Great. Okay.
So I don't know. But it's good that we have the options for people who want to use them. Right?
Okay. So
Yeah.
we talk about so many things. Like, yes, Sambhu, you want to say something? Then I will like wrap up.
I'm good.
Okay. So we talk about so many things, and after hearing so many things from you, Basanta, now I got so many questions, and like I had I had question like every 1 minute, 2 minute, but I didn't ask them, and it was related to all these things. So maybe we will cover in our next session.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, but like I'm going into the rabbit hole of this
Yeah,
uh,
technical stuff. That.
technical stuff. Yeah, I'm liking it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, it is good.
It
Okay.
is very interesting. Like even I had like questions popping up every half a second Basanta was
Yes.
talking to.
Why didn't you ask it, Sambhav? Because you asked very good question. You should have asked.
Like how many will I ask? How many? There are X questions I can ask. I'm into like a bit of technical side of Bitcoin. I built a Bitcoin Pay server and I connected it with a, what do you call it? I did it like 8 or so months ago.
Okay.
We I did it with another person and we connected it with, and I wrote a script with some Bitcoin development kit in Rust, and basically you could encode a message with, I think it was OP return, with which you
Yes,
encode a
operator.
message into your transaction.
Mm-hmm.
And we just took a small fee and you just made a payment and you encoded the message. That's what I built on it, and that was very interesting.
Have I met
And
you before in
No,
Bangalore?
no, no, no.
No, right?
mm,
Because I met another guy who I think who used to stay in Himachal, and he said the same thing. Like he built a op return based tool.
Based on Himachal.
mm,
Yeah, yeah.
Anil, Anil something,
I don't remember names.
Harsh.
right?
I don't.
Pratik.
I have no idea about names. Like I
Right.
don't even know
Pratik
his
is
name.
not
What?
developer like this. Yeah, Pratik only found Bitcoin just like 2 3 months ago. But okay,
Okay.
we don't
Two,
know.
3 months ago. Damn.
Like maybe 4 5 months ago, but he's not on technical side. But yeah, Sambhav, like yeah,
Mm,
like I think Sambhav, I constantly told you about Bitcoin like 1 year, 1.5 year ago, maybe
mm,
1.5 year ago. Like we were
mm,
having discussion, and then Sambhav got into like he asked so many good questions, and I was able to answer the non-technical side of things like economic thing and other thing. And then he completed mastering Bitcoin once, maybe
yeah,
six.
the book.
Book.
Do you want
And
to
then the
join this cohort from Bitsala? I can send you the link. So they have a what's it called? Protocol development stuff. Bitcoin protocol development. That's a
right.
cohort.
I'll definitely look into it.
I
Like
will
these
also.
days, for some reason, like I'm done with the exams now, but for some reason
Yeah,
I'm getting
he
random
is
stuff
finding a
these
college.
these days.
He is looking
Okay.
for a college. He is applying on for a college in foreign countries. So after this, I think
That's
he
pretty
will.
much done actually.
Yeah, I just forgot that you just passed 12 years. Like
Yes. So he's
I'm
like
sending it in
he's
the.
interested to like I will also send him. You can also send him on maybe
Right.
WhatsApp or Discord. Vaibhav
No,
is
I have posted it
also
in the Zap.stream chat.
great. Other people may also join it. Nice.
Great.
Yes. Yes.
Cohort protocol development study. More details. 26th April.
So
Facing
one of the
Vaibhav has
bits.
emergency.
joined. I think yeah.
Yeah, one of the guys
Right.
at Bitshala is Stratosphere. She is a Bitcoin core dev, I think funded by Squirrel or something.
Uh,
Yeah, she's also part of Bitshala and
Will
really
and
Stratosphere
good
ML.
like
person.
Stratosphere would like to join for a development discussion? Should I ask her?
I don't think she will show her face anywhere.
Okay, I think, but audio is fine. No?
I don't think
I
so.
will ask her. Okay,
Yeah,
because we can go audio like you, me, Sambhav, and Stratosphere, and
yeah,
let's
of
see
course.
like how it goes. Okay.
Right.
But she's like actually working on Bitcoin stuff. I'm not a Bitcoin developer at all. I do Nostr stuff and I just somewhat understand Bitcoin. So
Yes,
she's
yes,
a
yes.
nice person,
Right.
like really nice person. You should talk to her once.
Great, I will.
ML is
Okay.
also there.
What, Sambhav?
Just pointed out ML is also there, right?
Yeah,
ML.
Emil.
The cohort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know ML, Sambhav?
Yeah, I talked with him a bit on the group chat, the Bangalore
Okay.
group chat.
Yes.
Oh, that's Okay, I just realized who you are on the group chat.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe like he's not much active, but yeah, he was active once.
I just
Okay.
keep seeing things from the sidelines. I don't know what to talk about with you guys. You guys are way too expert at these things.
We
I
are not
just
expert.
whenever I disagree with someone, I just go there and trash them, and no one like the conversation stops there.
That's what happens.
Right.
So I keep doing
Right.
that all the time.
Yes.
I'll see people making retarded comments. I'll go there and I'll just write one paragraph, and everyone is quiet.
But I think nowadays you're
Damn.
not writing so much on that group. Maybe no.
Nah, it's
Mm.
mostly ETF stuff,
Mm-hmm.
macro.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is macro now.
Like yeah, nowadays I'm set about macro things, and yeah, like I have believed that Bitcoin will succeed. So the decentralized should be secured. So now I am more leaning more towards technical thing. I also read like 10 pages of mastering Bitcoin second edition. But it's like, should I join the Bitsala cohort? Like, or no? Like, I don't want to be expert. I just want to know. Like, I don't want to code ever. But
Not this one, but there are some reading clubs going on mastering. Not master. Yeah, mastering lightning. Is it
okay,
mastering lightning? Yeah, mastering lightning.
okay,
Organized by Shreyan actually. You should have
yes,
Shreyan here once.
yes. Sayan will join maybe next week. Yes,
Okay, okay.
we'll talk about technical thing.
Mm. So
Okay.
he's doing the reading club, and other reading clubs are also there. You should join Bichala's cohort. Not that cohort, but yeah, other events.
Yes. Okay, guys. Whoever are watching, like, if you are from India, you can join Bitshala, and you can even if you are not from India, you can join Bitshala Discord
Yep.
server and learn Bitcoin development thing. You can follow Basanta on Twitter and Nostra. If you Basanta Goswami, you will find the link in the description. And if you want, if you speak Hindi, then you can follow my channel Unboxing Bitcoin. And if anyone is Gujarati, then they can follow Bitcoin Gujarati and Bitcoin Gujarati. If you write Bitcoin Gujarati, it will come up.
If
So
you're
and
Yep.
Assamese by any chance, then you can
yes,
follow another account called Honghoti. Just
it is
search for
spelled as. Can you spell it?
Assamese people will know the spelling
Some people
Honghoti
know
with an
it.
X. Yeah.
Yes. What does it mean? Like, can you say it? What does it mean?
Honghoti is Sanghati.
Okay.
So Assamese mein, like we pronounce
It's
the
something like
sa, Hindi sa
spiritual.
is ho.
It's
No,
something
like
like spirit. No.
Sanghati is like group, right?
Okay,
Sang.
Sangati. Okay.
Yeah. So Sanghati is like
Okay.
Rikta
Some
Honghati is like
similar
Rik.
to satsang, na?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
similar, not
Same
exactly,
similar
but
thing.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Satsang
So
is
Rik.
like talking good things, spiritual things, getting together and talking spiritual things.
Yeah. Satsang is good. What's it?
Yes, bhajan.
Uh,
Like
Good
bhajan is the
influence.
part of like sub part of satsang, but we
But if you
only
like to take the literal meaning, right? Sat is truth or good. Truth,
so
right?
we can
Sang
do
is
satsang via bhajan, but we can also do it with the discussion, debate, reading, everything.
Right.
But we only know in India, satsang is means bhajan. Like
yeah.
whenever bhajan is happening, I think we have seen in our childhood. I have seen in my childhood.
Yeah.
We call bhajan like satsang to bhajan to satsang.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm Assamese, so we did not have really the concept of satsang, but yeah, I've seen it in northern India.
Okay, guys. So thank you for watching us. Thank you, Basanta. Thank you for joining and providing so much insight. Like I really enjoyed it. Really, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.